I want to dedicate this episode to my beautiful dog who passed away the morning after we recorded this episode. I know it doesn't really have anything to do with the podcast, but for me it does, because through every recording that I've had, damn near every single one, my dog sat right here off camera where you guys unfortunately couldn't see, and she just loved to be a part of anything that I was doing, so she was always right there with me. Sometimes you guys may have seen her head pop up and I'd give her some rubs or tell her go lay down, because I'm trying to do the show. But she just loved being around, and I loved having her around, and that was the last episode. This was the last episode that she was around for. So I guess this one's for me and for her. Let me just have this one moment, and I just want to dedicate this last episode where she was right next to me to her. And if you're an animal person, then maybe you feel me as dogs are family, or cats, or whatever you have, So don't mean to get all super sad. I'm sure people that follow me on social media and everything have already seen stuff. So do enjoy this episode. It is an amazing episode. It is a fun episode. It is an informative episode. It's a funny episode. We had a great time, and through my current situation, last minute I mustered up the drive to edit this episode, and it was kind of therapeutic for me, as it gave me a lot of much needed smiles. So I'm thankful for that, and thank you to Foggy Knight as well, because watching back our conversation, it helped me out through the night that I was editing it. So I hope you guys enjoy as well, and thank you for everything. Getting a little bit of a long hair chat. I haven't had my hair growing in quite a while. You're getting a Chazosaurus Rex that's got some hair this time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Projekt Podcast. I love the way it tastes. Have you guys got your absolutely awesome merch yet? This is the mug that it's not focusing on because it wants to focus on my face. Hold on, let's see if we can get this going. There we go. Look at that. Oh my God, it's absolutely awesome. Pun completely intended. Doesn't that look great? Oh man. Also, the new Run It Up tanks. I know I talked about it, did a skit about it and all that stuff, but maybe you didn't see it. The Run It Up tanks, they're available right now, as well as, I guess I got some designs on some other tanks as well. Or what would it be? Tanks on other design? No, designs on other tanks, yeah. And I got the Side Projekt logo on a tank. I think I got a Chazosaurus Rex on a tank. I actually, to be honest with you, I don't even remember. Should have promoted them, should have been on my P's and Q's, and I'm not. But also, I believe the 21st was technically the last day of summer, if we're going by the way that it actually goes. And I'm doing the sweater summer sale, because who wants to rock sweaters in the summer, especially if you're in California or Florida or Texas, right? But, it's summertime. Get them while they're on sale. So we got the absolutely awesome crew neck that's on sale right now, as well as all of the other sweaters that are up there. I've been saying it the last few episodes. Get them while they're sale. I'm extending the sale. I know 21st of September is when summer technically ended, but I'm extending the sale so you can go out there and you can rock them and you get them while they're whatever percentage it is off. Not on my P's and Q's today, you guys. I'm so tired, but let's not waste any more time, because this week I get the opportunity to sit down with an amazing cosplayer, actor, and model, a man of many faces, a man of many suits, and absolutely amazing artistic content this gentleman has. And some of you may be fans of his artistic content, such as maybe his Star Wars cosplays like Kylo Ren, or possibly even his Mandalorian cosplays. Maybe you dig his Marvel content, such as Spider-Man or Icarus from the Eternals. I know I do. On the other hand, though, Maybe you've grown to love him for his DC cosplays like Shazam or Superman, which you'll be stoked to know that he'll be playing the Man of Steel himself in Friends of the Show, previous guest, B-Square Productions Batman, Fall of the Family, coming soon. Maybe you're thinking, this man is starting to sound familiar. Could he quite possibly be a Batman cosplayer with the variety of iterations? And you may just be right, and he might just be your favorite Dark Knight. Like that rhyme scheme? So, ladies and gentlemen, an ambassador for Hot Topic, Box Lunch, and House of Sillage, being represented by TNS Management. Let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to, it's getting a little foggy in here, the Foggy Knight himself, Jake Fogg.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Wow,
how's it going, man?
And a half. That was...
Oh, thank you, man. I feel like I messed it up a little bit. I'm on the tired side today, so I feel like I'm not firing 100%, you know?
That was amazing. Like freaking awesome. Man. Like the mug, the merch. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
it, dude.
Coupon
or something.
I know, right?
You take Cole's cash. That's all I want to know.
How you doing, man? How's it going today, dude?
Great, man. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Oh, thank you for being here, man. I'm good. I'm on a little bit on the tired side. It's been a long week, but you know how it goes. We gotta do this. We gotta have some fun while we can. You know what it is, man.
Absolutely.
I got a plethora of things that I want to talk to you about, man. So many things, dude. One of the biggest things that you're probably known for is all of your phenomenal cosplays, dude. A wide variety, but also quite possibly for having a lot of Batman content. And I don't think it's any secret that you're a fan of the Bat. I mean, even your Instagram name is Foggy Knight, and that's Knight with a K, so it's a double entendre there, kind of, you know? I dig that. Speaking of digging, I did some deep dive digging, man, the best that I could. And though you have a lot of Batman cosplays, as far as Instagram goes, I believe one of your first posts into the cosplay community, if you haven't deleted any leading up to it, you know, wasn't actually Batman. From what I could find, cosplay-wise, it looks like one of your first posts was in 2020, which was a behind-the-scenes shot of you and Ryan Sims photography with a Superman suit by Napers Inc. hanging in the background, where you thanked them for making you the Man of Steel, stating yesterday was a day for the books. Was this your first step into cosplay, or was it just like one of the first ones that you posted?
That was it. That was literally, I'm telling you, the day we did that shoot was the first time I put on any costume ever.
No way.
Period. So really funny story about that. So, them suits you can't put on by yourself. So I went, Ryan lives in Nashville. I had done my homework, I had talked to him previously, and I saw his work, and I'm sure you have to. His editing skills, and just like the dude is just
phenomenal.
I don't even think he's human. I think he's an alien. But so I was like, I'm going to start off with a bang. I want to shoot with this guy because even before I really started, I've always had like an artistic ideas in my head. Like I reference like comic book covers and movie stills, and like to me, I just love doing like my interpretation of those things. So I got my suit. Literally arrived in the mail the day before I was going to Nashville. Got out there praying to God it was gonna fit. And fun fact, it didn't. It was like little too small. It didn't really fit. No, like if you saw like the raw, like it was some work to get in that sucker. But yeah, that was it. That was the first time, and I had no idea what I was doing. Ryan was amazing. Like it's funny with Superman because you don't really understand until you do it. Like his poses are so awkward. Like it's not like, because it's like, oh, you're flying. Like, okay, you got to be on your tippy toes or jump or like literally like fall down. And it was just like wild. But yeah, that was it. Literally day one. That was day one.
That's crazy, dude. I'm looking at, as well as I'll throw up on the screen, I'm looking at like some of the behind the scenes shots where you guys had the green screen. It looks like there's one here where Ryan's kind of maybe showing you a pose that you should rock or something. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't even tell, at least in these behind the scenes shots, you can't even tell like that the suit doesn't fit or anything. At least, like I said, in these shots, you can't even tell. But you've got an amazing recreation photo of one of Alex Ross's art of Superman. And I mean, you guys did this beyond justice, dude. Like you said, with the editing skills, I mean, even though this was a couple years ago, and forgive me, I don't know how long Ryan's been doing this, but I'm assuming it's probably longer than you've been cosplaying.
Yeah. Oh right? Yeah. He does like, he literally teaches like the master class of Photoshop, and now he does. I'm sorry if Ryan, if you see this and I get this wrong. I think it's like Cinema 4D, so it's actually like CGI. Okay. It's not even Photoshop. It's literally like what they use on Mandalorian TV show, but he does it in edits. It's wild.
Now you say that, I could totally see that. And I don't know if he was using that exact technique in 2020 for this, specifically for this Alex Ross version. But I mean, it's amazing, dude. Like, it really is. It's amazing. It's almost like, I don't know if this is the right terminology, but it's almost like hyper realistic. It's almost like a painting. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell that it's you. You can tell that it's human, of course, and all of that. You can tell that it's a recreation and everything, phenomenally done. But it's almost like an amazing like painting that someone painted of you. It's so, the eyes are just popping and everything, and the suit is popping even more. You've got you yourself got the expression down perfectly. I mean, kind of like you said, I mean, you came out the park swinging for sure, dude. I mean, like, you're swinging for the fence. Like, if I do this, I'm going to look amazing, period. Like, there's no exception, you know? Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, much like this epic action shot that you and Ryan did with the beam shooting out of your eyes and everything, and then like the stars in the background and all of that. I mean, it's just phenomenal, dude. Was like more of a thought in your mind that I said what I said, like, about swinging for the fence? Like, did you think, like, if I'm going to do this, I want to reveal this venture of mine with an absolute bang? Like, what was the thought process when you got into cosplay in general?
Yeah, for me, it was all about, I mean, I've always been, you know, from doing sports my whole life and, you know, having a competitive side. I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? And for me, as a person who really cares about, you know, I've loved Superman and Batman, you know, since I was a little kid, like, you know, 4 years old, I was, you know, so I'm like, not only, I mean, to me, when I do it, like, of course it's fun and I have a blast with it, but I want to do these characters justice, you know, and really, you know, go full blow of what my interpretation of that would be. So, you know, especially when you're working with somebody as talented as Ryan, you know, I'm like, I want to utilize his talents and be able to maybe deliver stuff I haven't seen before, I thought would be really cool to do. So for me, you hit the nail on the head. I went for the fences. I was like, what are my favorite art pieces ever of Superman? And like, literally in my office, I have like that exact Alex Ross picture of Superman. I was like, that's going to be the number. And I'm like, that's kind of a simple one to do. Like, I feel like I can do that. Whereas it's funny, the other one with the beams you're referring to, like, it's cool because like I see that picture now and everyone's like, that's dope. But like in my head, I remember what I was having to do to shoot that shot, and it was not dope at all. Like, I was like falling down and like express your face like laser beams are coming out of your face, but they're not. You just like you just look like you're intensively staring at something.
Did you have to open your eyes wide? Because I heard because I know the Boys. The show, the Boys. What's his name? I can't remember his name right now. But the actor that plays Homelander.
Oh, he was talking.
Anthony Starr. There we go. He was talking in an interview about how it feels funny, like when you have to do the beams and stuff, and he has to do it live action, like as he's acting and doing stuff. And so he was saying that he has to open his eyes really wide, but also look angry at the same time, and like and give that vibe off. And he says it's so awkward.
It is.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah, you're just literally like going like the damn like that, but like you're using your face. It's like it's wild. I still haven't mastered it.
All of you, stay back. You stay the fuck back, or I'll laser you. God damn it! I'll laser every fucking one of you!
October of 2020, you posted the Batman cosplay, the Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson iteration. We're going back, man. We're taking it back a little bit here. This is actually the first Batman cosplay that I could find of you, if we're talking chronologically at least.
Yes.
You've somewhat become a little synonymous, I would say, with Batman cosplays, pulling each one off flawlessly, man. And seemingly that...
Thank you.
You're welcome, of course. Seemingly that you being such a big fan of Batman, and I only say this because that iteration at the time was so fresh and so new. But why did you choose to do the Pattinson version first, as opposed to any others? If that was truly your first Bat cosplay,
it was my first. Ironically enough, that was more of my first, I guess, attempt at branding myself. So there was a maker who. It was like, I mean, I want to say it was before even a trailer came out. I think it was like when they did that first reveal of like just overall. So this guy is like new at making suits, and he was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get my name out there. Would you rock this suit?" I was like, "Okay, cool." Like the crazy part about it is, like, looking at the pictures, it literally was like leather armored pieces glued to a quarter zip jacket.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like it was so simplistic.
Yeah.
Which is wild. But yeah, it was like I was
It
like,
looks
okay,
amazing
cool.
though.
It's a cool way to brand. I mean, the cowl was a little small, but like we had fun with it and it was cool. And I think it was way before people started making the pageant suit. So I was like, hell yeah. Like I was excited to do it. I was still waiting on so I had ordered my comic suit. I was still waiting for it to come. So like, I knew I was doing my version, but I was like, hey, this could be a cool way to brand. Cause I was still pretty new to cosplay, trying to get my name out there and trying to market myself with different brands and stuff. And I was like, hey, wow. Somebody actually, it was like the first time someone reached out to me. It was like, hey, I love your stuff. I want to see you try and pull this off. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Because I believe it was only like a few months after you first revealed your Superman one, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it looks amazing though. And these photos that are up on the screen were by Brian Cox Photography. I mean, you even got the Batarang in your hand and everything. I mean, it's looking awesome, dude. And then the other shot with you opening the cape and everything like a bat. I love that one. That's perfect too.
Thank you.
But one of my favorites from this series of shots is the one with the bars. And you're looking through the bars like all stoic, and you know what I mean? It's like red as hell. I love that shot. That's an amazing. That looks like something that was from the movie. Which probably did you guys take inspiration from that?
No, it was just a dope location. I was like literally, I had not seen other than the red. It was like that first intro. You just saw reds. We're like, okay, let's do red gel lights. Okay, that's the mood for it. But there's a spot where I live in Richmond. It's like a canal, and it's got this big stone. Thing with these big iron gates, and to me it looked like kind of like Arkham or something. So I'm like, yes, it has to fit the vibe a little bit. So it worked out. I love that. It's crazy
because I think you're right. It was just that. I think it was the first thing that we saw around that time for the Batman. I believe was the footage that Matt Reeves took that was actually from like the suit fitting. I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it was just in the studio, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that. But it's funny because this shot that you guys did, which was before the movie and everything, where you're looking through the bars and everything, there's a scene in the movie that I believe is like that or very similar to that or something like that. I remember. That's funny that you guys did it before. You know what I mean?
No, I was like, oh.
Shows the minds though. The good, what you're doing. It shows, both you and Brian and everything. I dig it, man.
Thank you. Yeah. That was a fun shoot. That was my first one, like especially like Superman. He's hard to do like on a location because again, it's art, there's not a lot of like natural Superman shots, but Batman it's like cool. You can stand in buildings and
exactly look
on
stoic.
The ground. It's dope.
You could just stare at nothing, and half the time it'll look cool because it's Batman.
1,000%. It's great. You don't have to worry about your face. Like just let the suit do the work, man. It's good.
One of my personal favorite cosplays of yours, dude, is your Knightmare Batman. And that's because, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Batfleck iteration. I'm a fan of the suit, the style, both Knightmare or not. I'm a fan of Frank Miller's iteration of Batman, so I like that kind of bulkier look Batman. That's one of my favorites. And I just love the way that you did this, dude. One of these shots here that's up on the screen right now, speaking of test footage, again, it looks like the Zack Snyder like suit test, like the fitting or the test footage or something from an actual Zack Snyder Justice League. So kudos to Brian Cox Photography for pulling that amazingness off on the photography side as well, alongside Robert's Workshop on the suit, Hernandez EFX on the cowl. Your gauntlets here by GC5 Effects, the boots are by Tilly Effects, and your accessories are credited to Superman Fit and Cody's Cosplay. And this just looks amazing, dude. I mean, you guys were obviously in a studio for this one, which is the debut post that you did.
Yes,
amazing, dude.
That's still my favorite suit I've ever wore for sure. I love Knightmare Batman. Love Knightmare Batman.
Me too,
and Batfleck is I love his Batman so much. Iteration. Same thing to Frank Miller. I love because I'm naturally a bigger guy as it is. I'm like 6'3", 2. So when I saw a guy like Ben, I was like, okay, that's more of that like bruising and to me. That's what I like. I'm like the dude in the alley. You're like, oh shit! Like this dude's gonna kill me. Crush me. And
he looks menacing.
That dude. Yes. Yeah. So that suit. Yeah. I mean, it is by far the hottest, most uncomfortable, like just brutal thing to be in. But man, I love that suit so much.
Yeah, dude. I noticed that this iteration of Batman, You really ran with. I don't know if it's your most photographed or cosplayed Batman, but I do know that it's got to be one of them at least, as you've done a lot of collabs with this cosplay as well, which we'll get into in a moment. But you kind of said it's one of your favorite suits. Is it definitely your all-time favorite Batman cosplay? And if it's not,
right now, yes.
Oh, it is? Awesome, dude.
Yeah,
like what about the iteration like draws your interest so much in comparison to like other Batmans? I know you kind of touched on it a bit right now, but especially because there's so many mixed feelings around Affleck's Batman, you know?
Yeah,
from the
suit
to
me.
Yeah, I know. From the suit to how he was portrayed. I mean, everything surrounding it is mixed feelings. But what about that iteration draws your interest so much more?
Well, for one, I think it's so left field and different, which I like. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, even his standard suit, granted, it's different with the big bat and the short ears, and it's different, but to some degree, those bat suits are pretty similar. And but that you throw a trench coat on there and some goggles and like Zack Snyder, I was like, bro, I'm like, I don't know where you thought of this idea, but damn. And it just like adds like a militant, like as if that suit doesn't need to be more badass. It's like, let's make him look even more. And I
let's take it up to level 11.
Let's do it. So I love that it's different. I also like just he's a pissed off Batman. Like he's and he's had enough. And I like, my favorite part of Batman has always been more of the detective stuff. But as far as him as a person and who he is, because in my opinion, like Bruce is his, that's his alter ego. Batman is who the man is. Yes. And you think about it, for 20 years and he's going through all this stuff and he's seen his parents die and dealing with Joker and Jason's died. I can't remember who they said. Maybe it was Dick who died in that universe. It was Dick
in Snyder's version. Yeah.
But just what he went through, it's just like, I just loved his mindset of just dude, but he was so smart and just, I love that. It was just like and to me like that, I love the Dark Knight Returns animated set too, where it's just like, you feel like he could snap at any second and just like break someone's neck.
Right. I loved that too. Yeah, that's one of my favorite of the animations as well. So, I mean, since we're talking about it, like the Snyderverse and Batfleck and all of that, I mean, just real quick, sidebar, I want to get like your opinion and your thoughts on something real quick, man. Even with David Zaslav, the CEO, the current CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, with the merger and everything that occurred, there's been some recent conflicting reports, like even more recently with the Snyderverse, or at least with Batfleck and Cavill returning as Batman and Superman. I mean, for a long time they said that the Snyderverse was dead. We all kind of know that, right? Yeah. Then there was hope when the merger happened. Oh, maybe possibly David Zaslav will agree with us and they'll bring the Snyderverse back. Yeah. But then they announced semi-recently that no, the Snyderverse is still not happening. It's still dead regardless of the merger. But then even more recently, it constantly goes, it's all over the place. But Batfleck returning as Batman for The Flash, then the Aquaman reshoots. There's been new reports stating that Affleck and Cavill are back as Batman and Superman respectively for whatever the future holds for DC. And then the CEO himself also stated that his focus is more so on the DC Trinity, which is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So it kind of does line up that it could possibly be a thing, but to what extent? Is it them coming back for just cameo roles? Is it them coming back for the Snyderverse after all? Is it a new storyline branching off of whatever ends up occurring with the Flash? I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But like, where do you lie on that scenario? Do you want them back? Do you want a Nightmare sequence more fleshed out? See like the sequels to what Snyder had planned? Like, if you had it your way, what would you do? What would you want?
Absolutely. I would love to see them. I think, Batman's my favorite character of all time. I do think of all the movies from the DCU, I think Man of Steel 2 is the film I would want to see the most.
I agree,
because that arc of seeing him, I think where they're setting it is to see him as Superman. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like a lot of people who don't like Man of Steel they complain that he's not like this hopeful, ray of sunshine, basically. And it's like, but if you think logically, like of what it would be like to be that kind of person, and then, he dies and comes back, you can even see at the end of Snyder Cut, like just his lines and the way he carried himself and, whatever, like that version was coming. And he was such a good, I mean, just look at the guy, like
he's
freaking Superman.
Yes.
Like, so I'm just like, dude, just give us what we want. As far as Affleck, the hard part with him is because I've heard so many times like he doesn't really want to do Batman, but but I think I think the way that the whole ordeal like transpired for him, I think it really like shook him like like on a personal level. Like I think he was so excited about, hey, I want this to be I want to be the best. And he knows his stuff. Like, and he was writing his script and I heard his script was amazing. And then they just kind of like shoved it. So I get, and I understand too, if he doesn't want to do it, but at the same time, for the guy who loves Batman, I think he's open to doing cameos, which I would love. In my perfect world, I would love to see a Knightmare Batman.
And it seems that that's what he's doing, being in the Flash, being in Aquaman. So it's kind of like he's kind of open to certain things. And we don't know everything that happens behind the scenes. You know, I'm sure money plays a part and his time and all that. And I mean, just on a side note as well, Ben Affleck himself, he looks beat down though. Like he looks beat down as a whole. I mean, I know there was a lot of drama surrounding the Batman stuff, so I don't know if we're just capturing every picture he sees when involving the Batman stuff. He just looks burnt out. But I mean, just in general, the guy looks burnt out. So I don't know if. And then I know he had troubles with alcohol and things like that. So we don't know what's going on in his everyday personal life. You know, he had a lot going around surrounding that, and then all the Joss Whedon stuff that we found out afterwards that makes a lot more sense to why certain cast members look like they hated their life. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like in every interview and everything, they were probably just reflecting. Yeah. So, but I gotta agree with you, man. I want to see a Man of Steel too. I mean, plus, like, I hate to say it, but it's just true. I mean, we all age, man, and these guys are getting older and older. Like the time is now, you know?
Yeah.
I mean Ben could still
45, 46 years old now.
I think so. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I mean, Ben could still, I think, in my opinion, pull it off because he already is that older Batman. But as far as Cavill, like, we don't want Cavill to get too old. You know what I mean? Before he's Superman.
Kingdom Come guy. Like, let's go.
Exactly. So, I mean, I gotta agree with you, man. I would love to see that fleshed out, man. I would love to see. I would love to see them all come together with some positivity and flesh out the sequels for the Snyderverse and really make it happen and just let it be that, I guess, you know, if they don't want to continue it or do spinoffs or do any of this. And I know, like, if we're including Cyborg and Wonder Woman, there, you know, Ray Fisher's got that's his name, right? Ray Fisher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ray Fisher's got his the way he feels about everything. So I know there's a lot that it goes into it all.
Yeah.
But as a fan, man, if they could pull that off and just do, you know, the Snyderverse, like the sequels 2 and 3, and if you want to leave it at that, maybe do Man of Steel though as well. Like, and then yes, please. If you could at least just do those, I would be so happy. Yeah,
and I also understand too if they didn't do a Batfleck because the Batman did so well, and I'm sure they want to focus Batman. That's probably on their focus, and I don't blame them. Like they should. Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things. I'm at peace. I've come to grips to that. I'm just glad the Snyder Cut came out. Like,
right, me too.
I genuinely didn't think that was going to happen. And
I didn't think so either.
Then when I saw, I was like everyone else, like, dude, like, how the hell did you not release this? You know what I mean? Or like,
how did you screw it up that bad too?
Yeah. Yeah,
like I understand he had a thing, which I mean I do understand, but I don't understand from a business standpoint. Like I understand, you know, the show goes on, quote unquote. There's money involved, there's scheduling involved. I get that it'd probably be such a pain in the ass if you had to put everything on hold until Zach was ready to come back and finish the film. I get it, but at the same time, it's also like he didn't leave because of a small thing. He left for a very serious thing.
Very serious thing. Yeah.
And it's like you guys couldn't figure something out, and then on top of it, to add salt to the wound, you just destroyed the film. You just destroyed I mean, I know we're talking about old news, but still hits me in my heart, man. You know?
Me too. And I do a lot with Vero, and you know, Zach's big on there. And I can say from my own experience with Zach, from a Hollywood and filmmaker standpoint, especially, I think cares more about his fans. He has liked my pictures. He has commented on my pictures. Dude. He has shown love on pictures. He is my friends, you know, like Liz that does her. I mean, anything in his world, he shows love to it when he sees it. And he appreciates his fans. So once that started to happen, like, you know, he's just a good dude. So I'm always rooting for him, whether or not they continue his world. Right. You know, the dude is a genius. I think
so too.
Damn, but that Nightmare, definitely. I would bring on more Nightmare. I'd be all for it.
I agree.
Sign me up. Like, dude, let me get my suit. I'll do a young version. Let's go.
If Affleck doesn't want to do it, you do it, man.
Actually, it's really funny. I do like prints at cons, you know what I mean? And I put on my story on Instagram like a week ago. I got a 30-minute argument with the people at Staples because they were trying to tell me that they're like, this is Ben Affleck for copywriting issues. Like, we can't And I'm like, no, that's me. And they're like, no, that's Ben Affleck. And I'm like,
no,
that's me.
It's literally me.
I had to like literally have this like full on like go to my Instagram, show the raw pictures, like call the photographer, show them like all. I'm like, this is really flattering and like thank you for my ego, but like I swear I really need these pictures. Like, that is me. Oh snap!
That is hilarious. You come back in full suit and you're like, look, check it out.
Yeah,
I told you it was me.
The funniest interaction, I was doing a shoot, the one with Brian. Actually, we were walking outside and we're in Virginia again, and this dude comes up to me and goes, are you Ben Affleck?
That's
and in my
awesome.
head, I'm like, first off, like I wanted to say yes so bad.
Yeah,
like, I really
yeah.
did. But secondly, I'm like, you think this dude is literally just in Virginia in his Knightmare suit, just rolling around with a dude,
just
like
taking pictures,
just taking pictures. Don't mind me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Nah, J-Lo.
I know.
Going to Richmond.
You just got married to J-Lo, but I'm out here just taking photos instead.
I'm just doing Knightmare shit right now. Like, screw J-Lo. It was the funniest
hilarious,
thing ever.
man.
That
is hilarious.
I
hope that guy follows you and happens to see this.
I hope so. If so,
that's
I'm
hilarious,
sorry,
man.
Not him.
Oh man, continuing with the Knightmare stuff, but circling it back to your cosplays and everything, man. You've done a lot of collaborations with other cosplayers, which is always an awesome thing to see, dude. And one of the collabs that I happen to see a lot, which are all equally amazing, have been your collabs with your Knightmare Batman cosplay involving the Knightmare sequence, where everyone is just perfectly pulling off their Knightmare versions of their characters, dude. And I, of course, threw up during when I featured you as a cosplay of the week, I threw up the collaboration that you did with Imposter Cosplay, who's a previous cosplay of the week and 4-time guest himself, as Knightmare Batman and Robin. And dude, I always dug this ever since you guys released it. I mean, I even told Imposter how much I dug his Knightmare Robin when he first revealed it and everything. And I can only imagine this in the Snyderverse, dude. I mean, it would be so cool. It just in general, even to get some Robin action, dude. I mean, especially with we talked about it a moment ago with the odd choice of Snyder choosing to kill off Dick Grayson in his universe, and I believe he was still Robin at that. So, like, did we not even ever get a Nightwing in this universe?
Just
like
straight Robin and dead.
So strange to me. That's the one thing I don't understand that decision. But and then being also that this bat is aged and seasoned. Like, is there literally there's no other Robin out there? Like, he didn't like in this universe. I'm so confused by that too. But that's just because I want to see some Robin action. Would you want to see a Robin in the Snyderverse?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love the character of Robin. Not just even, Nightwing. I love Tim Drake. I think is in my opinion the best Robin.
He's one of my favorites.
Damien, I would love to see that Affleck with some little shithead who's just just a dick to him all the time.
You're right. That would actually be a really cool dynamic. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'm actually surprised. I thought they were going to go just because, it's so heavily influenced by The Dark Knight Returns. I thought there was going to be a Carrie Kelly sighting somewhere. I thought that was going to be the one, And Zach has this thing of, it seems like really pulling off really strong female characters. I would love to see him do a Wonder Woman film. Because he would take that shit to a whole new level. Because he just gets it. I don't know what it is about him getting female characters, but he
does.
But yeah, I would love to. I mean, Robin outside of Batman Super, probably my favorite character. Just in general, I just love all the iterations and the whole Batman.
Me too.
Insane. Imposter's Nightmare Robin, like that. The suit is
beautifully
sick.
done. I love it, dude. And I know he's. I'm not going to say too much, but I just anybody watching. Expect more from Imposter. That's all I'm going to say. Expect more from Imposter. It's amazing, dude. I also felt just one more little sidebar about the Knightmare Snyderverse and all that stuff is I also felt like Jason Todd fit the Snyderverse very well, in my personal opinion, especially if he ended up, living and went on into the Nightmare sequence and all of that. I feel like a Red Hood, like a Nightmare Red Hood fits that aesthetic pretty well. And I was always confused why he didn't end up going that route. Like, it'd be cool if they continued that and touched on it in some sort of way. I don't know. Like, maybe if they don't want to show the entire backstory, gave some sort of backstory and he ended up being there and they had to fight Darkseid and Jason Todd shows up. I don't know, something. I just feel like it would be cool. But anyway, enough of the Snyderverse. I'm sorry. All right, so you've also got your Nightmare shots with Eduardo Lagares. Am I pronouncing that right? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay, I always wanted to make sure. All right, Eduardo Lagares says Nightmare Wing and Superman fits Arkham Nightmare. I also threw this up when I featured you guys as the cosplay of the week. I mean, beautifully done. But one that I didn't highlight was a big ensemble shot, dude, with within the Nightmare sequence that you did with Erica cosplay as Batgirl, Liz Wonder, previous cosplay of the week, as Wonder Woman, Eduardo as Zeus this time, Susie creates cosplays as Hippolyta, if I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully, I always feel like I'm pronouncing that. For some reason, it sounds wrong when I say it.
Yeah.
And then you got Superman Fit as Arkham Knight and the Super Addie as Catwoman. And this is so cool to see, dude. I'm looking at it right now. It's up on the screen as well. Even more people involved in this Nightmare sequence. I love it, dude. How did this one all come together? Like, I know there's a lot of photos that can be edited if people are in different places. You know, obviously, I think people know we can Photoshop, we can edit people in and this and that. But was this one of those, which this edit, by the way, was by Jason Hahn Photo Art. Please follow him. Was this one of those scenarios where everybody was in the same place physically, or no way?
This was our hall mat house. We had a hall mat house, and we all stayed together. And I didn't know, I literally showed up and everybody had planned they were going to do, like, it was basically everyone was like, you better bring Knightmare Batman. Now that was pretty much consensus of like everyone wants the Nightmare Batman. So I'm like, okay, but everybody wants to do like a Nightmare version of their character. And I didn't know until I got there. They're like, yo, we're all Nightmare. And then, that's literally, we were all in a room. That's what you see is exactly where we were together. It was so nuts. Cool. It was that's the cool thing, I think, with the Nightmare, right? Is like, you can take, because it's not a fleshed out storyline, like you can take whatever character you want to do. Yes. Like, make it just grit, like do whatever you want with it and do a Nightmare twist. And I've had more people like, and it's really flattered, just like want to do a Nightmare Green Arrow or Nightmare Canary or Nightmare whatever. And I'm just like, let's go. I love it. And you can be creative with it, which is cool. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I even just in my mind, that's why I mentioned a Nightmare Red Hood, because I was just putting it together in my mind as well. Yeah, dude. Shout out to, I don't know if you ever seen it. I know my boy Travis, he used to go by Rebirth into an anti-hero, but now he's comic crossovers heroes. He has a Jason Todd, a Nightmare Jason Todd, a Nightmare Red Hood.
Bro, come on, let's go.
I know, right? You say in the caption for this shot, which is shot by Leno DC or Yeno DC, I'm not sure, LLENNO DC, that it's honoring the work of Zack Snyder, of course, but you also say that it's one of your favorite pictures that you've ever done. What makes it your favorite, and has anything topped it since?
No, just because it's like it's like the fact they all surprised me with that, and it was just such a memorable thing to see. And it's like, all my friends, that was also, because like you said, I started in 2020. I didn't get to go to a con for like a year and a half. Like, that was my first con ever, like in a cosplay was Hall Mat. So just that whole experience in the house, that's really what, and then it's just like, you don't get that many cosplayers that are all like lined up in the same universe. That's not a mainstream universe to all do the same thing. And it was just like, damn, this is dope. Like, like when I was like, you guys look nuts.
It came together so beautifully, dude. That's so awesome.
You should have seen our Uber driver when they showed up to take us to the Hall Mat. Like, I had my Scar rifle just like ready to roll.
Oh my God. What the hell?
Let's go. Yeah, it was awesome.
That is awesome, dude. I love that, man. I love to see that. Like I've said for like the past like 15 minutes, the Nightmare stuff is some of my favorite stuff. So it's always cool to see cosplayers pull it off, man. That's always going to be one of my favorites. Aside from your collaborations involving the Nightmare sequence, man, you have a lot of awesome collaborations in general, and I want to just throw a few up on the screen, man, such as your Batman and Superman shot with previous Cosplay of the Week and guest Soddle Up. I mean, this one was quite a long time ago. This was kind of when you first got into it, right?
Yeah.
The one with you guys back to back and everything?
Yeah. That was I forget what comic, but there was a comic cover of them kind of like that. And
right.
It was just like, let's do it.
Yeah, it looks amazing, dude, man. And the photo and the edit was by Ophea Art, or is it Ophea?
I don't know.
Ophia? I don't know either.
Ophia,
it's up on the screen though.
Yeah.
But the original photo and edit for Superman was by Ryan Sims Photography. Then you've also got your Shazam one with Miss Danny Cosplay. I mean, this is awesome too. You make a great Shazam as well, man. I love all your Shazam cosplays. They're just beautifully done, man. And your Bruce and Selena with Ty Dot Cosplay atop that the ledge there. I mean, legendary edit, dude. Legendary edit, which the person who edited this, their Instagram is not active anymore. So I don't know if you know.
I don't know. I think they might have switched her. I don't know if they're doing it anymore. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. I love that one too.
It's so beautifully done. I just wanted to give them credit, but I can't find their Instagram anymore. But I mean, it's amazing, dude. Gotham in the background, the bat symbol in the back. I mean, it's just beautiful, dude. It's amazingly done. And then over on the Marvel side of things, dude, something we've yet to discuss, Marvel stuff. You've got your Spider-Man and Black Cat with L.B cosplays, and this is just to name a few. You got so many other collaborations out there, man. So you guys make sure you go check it out on his Instagram. I mean, it's just littered with amazing, dope collaborations and just pulling it together, dude. And I dig that you're out here making like these comic dreams come true for both cosplayers and just fans in general, like myself, who just love to see it all, man. And like having these collaborations with other cosplayers and bringing people together and whatnot, and these awesome moments, bringing them to life. And shout out to all the photographers and editors that help make that vision happen as well. Whether it be a specific cosplayer or just like a cosplay in general that you've always wanted to make happen shoot wise, like who and or what characters have you always wanted to bring together and like create something with? Is there anything that's always been on your mind, or anybody?
Oh, that's
even
tough. Well, that's the cool thing with collabs and edits, right? It's like, Miss Danny cosplay, the Shazam, like she lives in Australia. You know what I mean? Like, but you would never know.
Right.
I just think to me, I love doing collabs because it's just like, I get to appreciate other people's talent and, cross paths. And I think it's awesome to kind of spotlight other people's work, especially if you have the same passion and like, yo, I saw this comic cover. Like, let's do this. Like Thai cosplays, Brazil, let's recreate this. And you just come up with these cool ideas. And even like the LB, like I like shooting with people more than by myself. Like, it's just more fun. You can have fun and joke and I've always just liked to collaborate. I don't know. Maybe it's just like because I played sports and I just like being a part of a team. But as far as like ones I would like to do, dang, that would be to do a full Justice League would be cool. Like a proper full Justice League. I also would want to do. This would be really hard to do, but Batman with all the rogues, like just like the head, like a Bane, a Joker. To find a Bane is impossible, by the way. So if anybody does Bane watching this, like please hit me up. Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze, like I love some of those arts that just has all of them, and I just think that would be so sick to do. Would you want it to be a Court of Owls would be an amazing one as well. Would you want it to be like action shots, like maybe where you're fighting or doing something, or just like you guys lined up, or them all in the background, everything? All of them. I like the one, I forget, I want to say, is it Neil Adams? I don't know. He's like walking into like a museum and it's like they're like portraits of each of them, like as he was going down this hall. Oh yeah. I forget who drew that. It's like a famous art thing, but that would be really cool. And then I also take a lot of inspo from like Sideshow and Prime 1 statues. Yes. It's actually my OG Superman suit is based off of a Sideshow statue. So that's how I came up with the idea of that suit. But yeah, there's one where like Batman's like there and he's like surrounded. I don't know. There's like a statue that I've always wanted to do because it has everybody. So that would be cool. Oh man, I'm down for whatever, honestly. But those would probably be the main one off the top of my head. I got a Scarecrow for you. I don't know if you know any Scarecrow cosplayers, but Christian Pereira, I believe, he has an amazing, crazy looking Scarecrow, man. I don't know where he is, as far as location or anything, but I just know he's got a phenomenal Scarecrow. I'll have to check that out. I'll send him to you. I'll find him and I'll send it to you, man. You have a lot of these phenomenal edits when it comes to your cosplays, dude. These very artistic takes, these super stylized, like graphical, just like artistic edits, man, that you throw into your cosplays that just add another world of realism. And I want to touch on that with you, and we will. But before we touch on that, I think it's time to break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. And this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than
LB Cosplays. And I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. Woo. And that's L.B.Cosplays on Instagram. So make sure you go follow. And it is her iteration of Black Cat. And this is absolutely amazing. I love it. And it just so happens to coincidentally feature Foggy Knight as well, who is here today as your Spider-Man, dude. This is amazing, man. Spider-Man, Foggy Knight, Black Cat, LB Cosplays, photo by Brian Cox Photography, inspired by Gerald Perel, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is absolutely amazing, dude, with the skyline in the background, with the buildings and everything in the background, looking like New York and everything. This is beautifully done. Where did you guys shoot this, actually?
We shot this on a roof of a parking garage that has like buildings and stuff behind it, not far from where I live. She lives probably, I don't know, a half hour or so from me. So she is an amazing Black Cat. I had gotten, after that Knightmare Comic-Con, realized how hot that was to wear to Comic-Con. I immediately left that con and said, I need to get a spandex suit. Spider-Man it is. So I had Spider-Man. Yeah. I saw her Black Cat, like you, blown away by it. I mean, I was like, yo, you were jumping out of comic books right now. And that inspired me. And I was like, yo, let's do it. So she's amazing. She's amazingly talented. She's, beautiful. She gets the characters. She knows the poses. She as soon as it's time, she immediately just turns his mood on, and I'm like, let's go. Nice. She's a beast. I love it.
Dude, I love definitely. I love everything about it, man. You up top doing the Spidey pose. It's perfect. Like I said, with the buildings in the background, she's standing there looking off to the opposite way. She's got the eye mask. It looks perfect. The hair is up exactly how it should be. It's amazing. I love it. I love the suit. I love the black and the white. I love the way that it is with the what looks like almost kind of like a straps on the shoulder there on the traps and everything going down with the abs. I mean, I love everything about it, dude, all the way down to the heels that she's wearing and everything. The caption says the spider and the cat. I love it. And I want to throw up a second photo here, and I'm throwing it up now. And this one is of you two looking at each other, and this is the one that is a recreation from a cutscene in the game, Insomniac's Spider-Man, the game, which I am playing right now because I don't have a PlayStation, so it's finally on PC, and I'm playing it. I'm like 80% done with the main story, and I'm having the time of my life, dude. That game is amazing, man.
It is.
The caption on this one says, "I missed you. Glad we're back together again." Photo by Brian Cox Photography as well. And she says, this shoot was so fun. We pulled a few inspirations from the game, and it is really incredible to see the finished results. And I'll also throw up the screenshot real quick so you guys can compare from the actual game. So check that out. And then now back to them. I mean, it's perfect, dude. The way that she's looking at you and everything, you're right. Like, she snaps right into character. It's perfect, man, with the hand on the face and everything. I mean, you guys pulled it off flawlessly, dude. And you can see a little bit more close up of her suit and everything. And it's got that superhero style look that they got. I love that, man. It's looking great, dude. And just for fun, one that's not featuring Foggy, so we can give her some spotlight on her own. I want to throw up a third one here, and boom, and throwing that up now. And this one is what she says is her Arctic Mando. And this thing is amazing, dude. Caption says, "Are you coming or not?" And the photo is by Griffin_Studios. Perfect, dude. I believe this was I don't know, because I know you guys did some shots together with the Arctic Mando as well.
I was there. Was
that at a convention, or?
That was at for anybody who's been to KatsuCon, the Gaylord Hotel. It was, we shot that there. It wasn't during the con though. It's like kind of in our area. They let us in. It's a dope location. So that thing. It's the reason it's white. She's cold as ice in that thing. That thing is fire.
It looks amazing, dude. I love everything about it. Oh, no way. Really?
Mm-hmm. She made all that.
That is so cool, man. I love it, dude. I love it. Even like on the gauntlets there with the fur coming out by the elbow. I mean, attention to detail. So that's amazing, dude. I just love everything about it, man. I love everything about it. This is phenomenal. Everybody, please go follow L.B.Cosplays on Instagram and check out all of her cosplays. She's got a bunch of amazing cosplays that are all just phenomenally done, dude. So make sure you follow them. Make sure you follow all the photographers and everybody that helped make this come to light, as well as the guest here today, Foggy Knight 14 on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, please go follow LB Cosplays, because LB Cosplays, your Black Cat and Arctic Mando cosplay of the week for me and Foggy Knight is amazing.
Also, I hear she's maybe has a Catwoman coming soon. for the Batman.
Yes. Are you guys gonna end up collabing on something with that? Am I spoiling something?
Yeah. There's gonna be a couple. Might be a couple of shots together soon.
Oh yes, man! I can't wait, dude. I can't wait.
I am Catwoman. Hear me roar.
Like I was saying earlier, dude, you have this look to your cosplays, man, to your Instagram page. Like as you scroll through, you have this specific style that complements you very well. And you do more than just take like a dope photo of your cosplay. And that's not to say that other cosplayers also don't do, really cool edits or anything like that. And there's also nothing wrong if you don't. But you have these insanely awesome graphical edits to a lot of your photos, such as the Detective Part 3 is one that I want to throw up on the screen, taken from the Batman Damn storyline. Lee Bermejo art with that Ryan Sims photography helped bring to light. This is insane. Like it's legitimately like insane, dude, with the Batmobile in the background, Gotham in the background. You can see even some like the smoke coming up a little bit, like the dew or whatever it would be and all that. Maybe some of the exhaust coming out from the Batmobile right there. It's got you looking super menacing, kneel down, looking at a body bag. I mean, this is just, it's incredible, dude. It literally is incredible.
His wife.
Is it really, dude?
Wife. Yeah.
That's so cool, man. Oh, that's so cool. I love when people get involved in like the photographers and everything. And this is like I said, it's a recreation. So I'll throw up the side by side as well. I mean, what was going through your mind when you guys were doing this one, man?
Shoot, you can see we did a whole line. Part 1. I think we did like 4 or 5, all Lee Bermejo. Yeah. I just think his artistic. It's so real and it's so different. His artistic style, and both myself and Ryan both immediately. So how I go about doing shoots in especially in a studio, because I don't live in a city per se. So for like Batman, for example, a lot of times I have to shoot in a studio because if I went like where I live, it just wouldn't make sense. So
it doesn't have the right aesthetic.
Yeah. So hey, Ryan, we're going to do this shoot together. Awesome. I'll go on Pinterest or, my art that I have or comics, and I just go through and I just find what I want to do. So before I even shoot, me and Ryan will already know we're going to do this exact thing. So for cosplayers too, it's a great way to, especially if you're new and you don't really know what you're doing, because instead of me going, hey, you're going to kneel down and you're going to act like this, I can just go, yo, do this.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. I want to do this. Boom, right here.
And for the photographer, it's easier too, because he knows how to light it ahead of time. He's like, I know this is the edit. I know the light hits your face on this side. I know steam's coming up here. So from both sides, it actually makes it a lot easier to do a shoot.
Right. They kind of have a blueprint of exactly what needs to be done.
Exactly. So we saw that Batman Damn, that art in there, and we were just like, yes. I love dark, gritty tones. And I just think that it just adds a mood to everything. So what you're seeing there was part of that Bermejo thing. And that might be my favorite shot I've ever done. Because to your point, the Batmobile, the steam, it's just everything that in my head, if you're like, what would you want to see in a Batman film? Which I ended up doing in the Batman is I was like, I want dark, I want gritty, I want detective, I want like murder mystery, and that, and then the cool gadgets, the car, the suit, and that picture has all of it. So that was when I saw that, when Ryan finished, I was like, I was shook. It was one of those. I'm like, is that me?
Phenomenal.
And then I'm like, wow, like what the hell? Like it was.
Gotta do a double take. Wait a minute.
It's nuts.
Looks too good to be true.
It's so good. That's so good. That whole thing is just epic.
It's insane, dude. Much like the Welcome to Gotham one, standing behind the Wayne Manor, I believe it would be, and Ryan Sims photography on this one again, man. I mean, and the attention to detail on this one too, like even just the stairs, the steps, like the way that they I don't know if it's just dirt or rot or maybe even blood or what it could be, but it's dirty. It's not just like a stairs, you know what I mean? Like the attention to detail on the ground, the gravel, the background, the trees in the on the left side of it in the darkness, which is the opposite of you being lit up. Like it's just perfectly done. And then just you in general, the big bulky Batfleck style suit, Frank Miller iterations kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's amazing, dude. And then you have two that I want to highlight, man, that are quite possibly probably my top 5 favorites, to be honest with you. And that's one that's you in a Batman suit that I don't believe we fully discussed yet. But the first one is a recreation of the Batman, the animated series by Ryan, once again with Mr. Freeze there and you in the globe. And like, that's so amazing, dude. Heart of Ice. I mean, just phenomenal, dude. It's so good, man. I mean, it's the same thing. Were you just looking to like recreate one of your favorites or something?
Yep. So the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in cosplay is from that photo. And when I break down that edit for you, you're going to on how epic Ryan is. So, Batman animated series was like my favorite show as a kid. It's what got me into Batman. Like Kevin Conroy's my Batman.
Right.
Heart of Ice to me was one of my favorite episodes. If not, I think the best episode maybe in all of the animated series.
Nice.
And, especially now that I know that was, what Mr. Freeze was before that episode and like that interpretation, they totally turned it on its head with that episode. And like, now we know him to be what he was from that episode.
Yeah.
But Kevin Conroy tweeted that photo out on Twitter and reshared. And then I met him at a con and he saw me online and said, "You're the guy from Heart of Ice." And I'm like, "You're so noticing me?" Like, bro, you're Batman. Like, no. So that's like my ultimate like hype moment. Like Kevin Conroy knows. Cool. But okay, so this is where I'm gonna put your mind on that edit. Mr. Freeze is a photo Ryan took of a Darth Maul. So that's a Darth Maul cosplayer that he edited into Mr. Freeze. The globe is a different cosplayer that is a Magneto cosplayer.
No way.
So there's a Magneto, a Darth Maul, me as Batman, a snow globe, and it turns into that.
Wow, dude.
That's how epic Ryan Sims is.
Man. Just taking elements from so many different things. Oh my God, man. That is amazing, dude.
Editing. Yeah.
Which, speaking of amazing, man, this one too, dude. I don't know where this ranks. I know that, like I said, both these are top 5 for me, but this one blew my mind when I first saw it, dude. Bad history with freaks dressed like clowns on the caption of this insane, amazingly suited up Batman punching Joker in what looks to be like a warehouse engulfed by flames, dude. Shot by Bryant Cox Photography. And Bryant is also, he's Joker himself in this one. Like, does Brian usually suit up? Was he actually suited up or was it edits?
No, that's him suited up. He has had this mask and I'm like, why have you never wore that? Like, bro, stop taking the pictures and get in the picture.
Wow.
So he's literally like laying down with his little clicker and like clicking while I'm like about to wail on him. Like, it's wild. Dude, he crushed it.
Everything about this is legitimately insane. And I know we toss around the word insane regularly, but I mean it to its full capacity. Like, this is phenomenal, dude. The flames, the background. I mean, the way that you got like it's the blur going on in the background and you up front, the lighting of the flames going there as well, like on the side of your face. And then just the expression in your face, dude, is intense. Like, this is everything that I would want to see if Batman was interacting with Joker in live action. Yeah. Like, this is what I would want if Batman interacted with Joker in the Snyderverse. Like, I would want something like this to occur where it looks like it's about to just be brutal, you know? Like, it's phenomenal, dude. It is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. So, like, you kind of answered this a little bit already, but when it comes to these type of edits with your cosplay, like, is it something that when you first started, like, was it something that you specifically sought out? Or was it something that just kind of occurred because of who you were working with, and then you were like, okay, I'm gonna run with that even more? Like, are you actively looking to make your shots this style back then and now?
I think it's a mix. Back then, I didn't know any different because, like I said, my first one was the Ryan, and then when I saw what he could do, it's really hard to like really do anything else because it's like, dude, like, can you do this? Well, can you do this one? You can do that. Okay, so. So yes, it is cool because from an editing standpoint, I like blending in like my interpretations of comic covers and movie stuff. Like the picture you're referring to with Joker, to me, that was my interpretation of again, Dark Knight Returns, granted my suit's different. The suit is my current bat suit with the white eyes, which I freaking love the white eyes so much.
I love white eyes too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you can't see shit in them, but you know what? It's okay.
You know what? I've never asked anybody that. Can we sidebar that real quick? How bad is the vision when you have the white eyes?
Oh, well, I'll put it like this, yo. I'm partially deaf in real life in this ear, so you can't hear anything in the suit either. So I can't hear. I can see. What's funny is if it's dark, I can see, like, I would be able to see your outline, but I couldn't really see like your features. With lights, like, especially when you're shooting, I can't see anything, like, to the point where I was still posing and Brian's like, what are you doing? And I'm like,
we're done. Like,
are you still posing? He's like, bro, I'm literally right in front of you fixing your cape. And I literally can't see anything. So yes,
you're all like this the whole time.
Yeah, literally. Superman Fit, we did a TikTok together, and it was supposed to be one of those where I go like this is a joke, but I can't see. Yeah, I freaking wailed him right in the face, thank God I didn't crack his helmet. But I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. So for anybody who sees me at a con in that suit, if I walk past you, I'm so sorry. Like, I swear I don't see you or hear you or anything. But
oh man, that's funny. That sucks, but it's funny. You know,
it is funny. It is funny. But that picture, I don't know if you remember the Dark Knight Returns when I think it's part 2 when they're in the. He's chasing Joker and he ends up snapping his neck and killing him. To me, like that when he snaps, like that's my version of that picture. Like it's quite so that, good, but I'm like, yo, I want it to be like I'm done. Like that's it. Like this is the final beatdown. And his mask is so freaking dark and gritty. I'm like,
I'm zooming up right now on your face and it's just intense, dude. It's so good, man. I love it, dude. I love this so much, man. I mean, you look like you really enjoy yourself, man, like to the fullest with cosplay and everything. I mean, like, what is it for you about cosplay? Like, what does it mean to you? Like, what does it make you feel? Like, why do you want to be a part of this community?
A combination of a lot of things. The first thing is it's an instant bond with people that you already have something in common with. Like it's kind of like sports. It's like I don't have to be like, hey, like are you into like nerdy stuff? Like I already know because you're doing this too. Like
exactly.
So from a social standpoint, it is a phenomenal way to meet people. Like, you know, especially as you get older and, you know, like I said, I played sports, so to have kind of that some sort of camaraderie with meeting people all over the country, it's just fascinating. For me, and one of the main reasons I got into it to begin with was, and I didn't know this at first, but realizing what you can do as a character for other people and the reaction for other people to you, whether it's especially kids, whether it's hospital visits or charity work or a video or just at cons, like people lose their freaking minds. And it's awesome to see. And, you know, it's not me, you know, it's just people with their characters and they see anybody, a Wonder Woman, a Superman, you know, Captain, whatever, anime characters. But when people have a love for that character, then they see you, like they don't see you, like they see Batman,
their character,
and they're like, oh my God. And they, you know, it's so cool to see. And just some of the stories I've gotten to do, you know, visiting with people or reactions has been really cool. And for me, that's the most gratifying thing is, you know, I can do stuff as myself and try and help people and be a positive, and it's cool. People don't really care, but like if I do it in Batman, like that it's Batman doing it. So like it hits home, and it's really rewarding and cool. And I actually had to learn too with like Batman, for example, like little kids, they're big fans when you're like 20 feet away. But like when you're like 6'5" in that suit and you have those white, like you can't look nice. Like you can smile. You still
it becomes a
little
menacing, right?
And they're like, so I had to learn like, okay, maybe not do him for that kind of stuff. So I'll do like Mando with like Grogu and like the kids are like, oh yeah, they just want Baby Yoda. So you know, you're learning, but the stuff like that is the most rewarding. Like it's, and to me, like I love that aspect of it. I really just try and have fun with it. Like I've never understood like the, you know, drama or like people that are trying to like own it. Like, dude, it's just fun. It's like dude, I grew up watching these shows and or movies and characters. I'm like, I get to do for a little while, a little while. I get to be that for somebody. You know, it's really cool.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, that is so cool,
Yeah.
man. Did you ever think that like doing cosplay would turn into anything else for you, or like did you even ever want it to? Like I know because I know you have a role in B Squared Productions' Fall of the Family as Superman, and I've read versions of the script, but don't tell anybody. And and the trailer is also available on YouTube as well, though. B Squared Productions on YouTube. I mean, firstly, is that still occurring? Are you still attached to that? Okay.
Yeah, I am. It's gonna be fun to go back to doing Superman for a really long time. You know, it's like I've always had a connection with Supes. He's such a lighter, especially like the version I'm doing is a much lighter Superman. Like he's not like, you know, BVS Supes. He's very hopeful. So to get to kind of do that again will be fun.
Did you ever think it would turn into anything like that for you?
Because to me, it's silly old me every time. Like I don't people like, I just don't like, I'm not that person. It's like, like, I look like Superman, or like, somebody's gonna want me for Batman. Like, it's just, I'm like, me? Like, you want me? Yeah. It's just all, it's bizarre to me still. I'm still like, are you sure? Like, but I'm really excited. Yeah. Maybe like, you are a perfect Clark. Like, you're just like, oh, shucks. But yeah, no, I had no idea.
Do you want it to? Really, are you down with going down that venture and doing more?
I did. Yeah, I did. I did theater in high school, so I've always been interested in doing that. I am doing the Superman for them, and then I'm working. I guess I can say this now on here. I'm doing I did a photo last year, and I reposted it here recently. It's a picture of me, and it's like an edit of me and Michael Myers is like the other split of the face.
Yes, that's phenomenal, dude.
It got so much like messages and well received that I was like that'd be kind of cool. So I'm actually working on a fan film with a local guy who it's going to be called Halloween Night with a K. And basically the premise is going to be Michael Myers is going to be getting transferred to Arkham Asylum, breaks out. It's going to be like a murder mystery. Michael Myers versus my Batman. It's going to be
no way. Yeah. Oh my God. Did you just give me an exclusive, by the way? Is this an exclusive? Oh my God, dude. Making this a clip. Amazing,
so that
dude.
Picture was not reposted. It was like a little subtle. Like,
I'm doing something.
That's actually going to happen.
Dude, those are like just ever since a child, like, which I know it's weird that like a child would love Halloween, like Michael Myers, but I did, dude. Like I
love that guy.
Yeah, I know. As a kid, I'm like, hey, look at, but like seriously, my mom was like, my mom was a giant horror fan growing up. Yeah. And I mean, of course, like as a really, really little kid, I couldn't watch that stuff. She wasn't just like, here, look at people getting murdered. Like it wasn't like that. But I'm saying when I got to whatever age it was that she felt it was proper, I have no idea. But I just remember as a youngin', I always loved Michael Myers, like coming up on horror stuff. Yeah. And then obviously, I mean, every kid loves Batman, you know what I mean? So I always loved Batman as well. So like just to see that happen, just that idea, like the kid in me, I mean, even the adult in me, but the kid in me is always like, oh my God, like this is amazing. I cannot wait for that, dude. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. I think it's weird too, because I kind of think the more especially now that I've been kind of involved in making, it's like, he actually fits in the Batman world. If you really think about it, like he's not, it's not like Jason or Freddy where he's like this abnormal, like I can go in the water and just disappear. Like he's just a really effed up guy, it's kind of like Joker. So it's like, it's going to be cool. And I don't think I've seen anybody do something like that. So I'm like, it should be very original and different.
That's so cool.
I'm excited. And it's going to be pretty rated R.
Oh, hell yes, dude. That is so cool. I'm just like a big fan of horror films and horror just genre in general, and I don't get to talk about it enough here. So like, I just like, that's so awesome, dude. I'm just stoked, man. I'm just stoked for it, dude. With cosplay and everything, I mean, like what's next for you? Like within cosplay, do you have anything that you're working on? Anything you want to discuss, reveal, give a little hint to? Like what's the future of cosplay look like for you?
As far as like projects, I'm doing Cosplay World Richmond. I live in Virginia, which is I'm about 45 minutes south of Washington, D.C. I'm doing something for the Smithsonian museums. They're opening like a bunch of American history stuff, but they're doing I'm doing a World War II Captain America for the Smithsonian museums with the
which is another cosplay that I really, really dig of yours is your Captain America cosplay.
Yeah, thank you.
You make an amazing Captain America.
Thank you. So do you know, like in the first movie when I don't really recall what they called it in the movie, but he's got like literally like a military helmet, like a leather jacket, and like it's that version that I'm doing. So I'm really excited for that. To me, it's like, you know, the military and stuff like, I'm like, it's different than just like a super suit. So I'm like, that'll be cool. And then the like screen official, like Robert Pattinson suit will be my next, like, I'm so excited for that. That's my big like cosplay move for me. And I'm debating whether I want to wear that or my comic suit with the white eyes for the Halloween night thing. I'm like currently in that debate.
Yes. Nice, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait for all that, man. It sounds amazing, dude. I know you're with TNS Management now, man. And obviously you wouldn't be doing that, wouldn't be making that venture happen if it wasn't a good look or a good idea for you. I mean, what can your following expect to occur that may be different from what you already do for yourself? Is there anything that it's gonna, you know, take off or do more with being attached to them?
Yeah, I think it's going to be opportunities to go to different cons and meet people that are across the country. I think that's the main thing. I really want to. So far, like the cons I've been to have predominantly been Florida, Virginia, local where I can drive to them. But you know, there's so many people on the West Coast and Midwest and you know Canada and in places I'd love to go. So looking to hopefully get the Fan Expo in Toronto next year. There's some talk about maybe WonderCon in LA, which would be really cool, and just get a chance to meet. Hit
me up when you do that. I'm about 20 minutes away from WonderCon. I went last year.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
I will
I'm right
see
there.
You there,
yeah,
I will
definitely.
see you there.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing is just getting a chance to travel, which is cool, but also just get a chance to do more collabs with people and meet people. That's the bizarre thing of cosplay too is. You interact with people like every day that you've like literally never met ever. Like you don't live anywhere near each other, but you have like this bond. It's weird because like you know them and then you meet them and you're like, wow, I feel like I met you like a million times.
I feel like we really know each other. Yeah.
It's bizarre. So it'll be cool to like, or like you see someone, you're like, you're a lot shorter than I thought you were going to be, or like taller than I thought you were going to be, or like, not what you look like, or like, wow, like you look awesome. It's bizarre.
It's cool though that, and you create that like camaraderie over the internet. So like, just like you said, so then when you meet each other in person, and everything, it's kind of just, it feels a little bit more normal. You're not necessarily meeting a stranger. It's really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Well, while we are going to get ready to get out of here, there's one thing I want to do with you before we do get out of here, and it's a series of questions that I kind of just started a few episodes ago. You're the third person that I've done it with. Kind of. I did it before in the past, but I didn't quite label it as like an actual segment, and I didn't really run with it. But it's a quick little thing, kind of like a rapid fire question, but we don't have to go extremely fast. You know, we can talk about it, but it's maybe a little less in depth than things that we've been doing in the earlier parts of this episode. And it's something that I like to call shotgun questions. So I got one for you. Out of all the cosplays that you've done, what is hands down your all-time favorite, if you can pick just one?
Knightmare Batman, for sure.
Nice, dude. Yeah, you kind of mentioned that earlier in the episode, but I had to double check.
It's just a mood. It's a mood. It really is.
Hell yeah, man. Is there a cosplay that you've always wanted to do? It's always been in the back of your mind, but for whatever reason, you've just yet to pull the trigger.
Yes, there's two. One is Aragon from Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie. But like the armor and like the leather pieces are so insanely expensive, and there's not a lot of people make it. So that would be, but it would be sick. The other one is I referred to statues. There's a Prime 1 statue called Medieval Batman against Dragon Joker, and basically the best way I can explain it is think of Batman in a medieval Viking outfit. And it's the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life.
I think I may have seen it before. It sounds
I'll send
familiar.
You a picture of it. I mean, it's like, definitely. I was like, oh my God, like that is, yes.
And then being that you're like a big guy too, that would like fit your aesthetic so perfectly, and it would be so menacing in person.
I would love that. Yeah. Like Batman with a big ass sword. That is just like, yes give it to me. Let's
Definitely,
go.
Man. Here's one. I got a question for you that I've been asking every guest so far, and I believe you actually even commented on the one that I did with CJ Prop Studio, but I got to ask you anyway. Yep. Batman, Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. Out of those four, you can only choose one. But not only do you just choose one, the one that you choose makes the rest cease to even exist. So
oh my God.
Who do you choose? If you can. If you can't, you can pass.
I answered Pattinson in that. I know. I think I'm going to keep with my guy, Pats.
That's crazy.
Which is shocking. Which is shocking. I know. It's still...
But you're not the only one. It's getting a lot of like... A lot of people are saying Pattinson, and it kind of blows my mind. Like it's... I feel like they would choose Keaton, Bale, or Affleck before choosing Pattinson, but I'm getting a lot of Pattinson answers here, dude. And I just don't expect it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't expect it.
Yeah, I go... Batfleck is by far the best Bruce Wayne, and looks wise. I
think so.
That's Batman.
Yeah.
And that's my only gripe with Keaton. I like Keaton's performance. Mm-hmm. He's just smaller and visually just doesn't do it for me as Batman. Just because I just can't wrap my head around. Oh, this is the guy who can beat everybody to a pulp.
I never really looked at it. I mean, I kind of knew that just subconsciously, but I never really. Now that we say it out loud, like you're kind of right.
I've also like really seen him in like real life, and he's like 5'9", maybe, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I just, but no, I was blown away by Pattinson. I thought he would do a good job because I'd seen his work before, and I just loved it to the point. He was everything I wanted. The detective part of it. He just seemed to really understand what it was. I think his Bruce Wayne needs to get ironed out a little more, because you don't really see him as Bruce a lot in the movie. But I'm just really excited to see where they go with that. And I love the tone and the look of that movie. And I love his suit. I just think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I dig it too. I like it too. Last one. If you could time travel, this is just a fun one. If you could time travel to any periods, any era, where would you go and why? And you can pick up to 3 different places.
Oh, any time period and where?
Any time period, any era, where does it? I mean, literally anything in all of existence, and you can have 3 choices. What are your top 3 places that you would love to go back in? Or it could be the future as well.
Dang, that's tough.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's just to preface. I don't know if it's like. I don't know if we're time traveling and interacting, or if we're just time traveling observing. That's a whole other, that's a whole other basket of things. But just time travel in general, if you could, 3 places that you would like to go to.
Let's go. We'll go. Roaring 20s. I think that's pretty cool.
Nice,
like the world was coming up. I also like the Peaky Blinders swag. That's a lot of swag going on in that decade.
Yes, definitely.
Oh man.
I know.
Like medieval times from an observing standpoint would be kind of fascinating. Yeah. Again, just like
a lot of people say this. A lot of people say medieval times.
Stuff. They just with like a cape for no reason. Just like, yo, let's go.
Yeah. The smell, though, man. The smell during that era, dude.
Yeah, and the food's got to not be that great.
I know, right?
The future would be kind of dope. Like, I don't know, like a couple 100 years from now, just to see, just out of curiosity, where it goes, and would be cool. I'll go with, I do miss the 90s though. I really do.
I know, right?
I think I'm gonna go with the 90s just because like that's like prime. There's a lot of prime stuff going on in my life in the 90s.
Yeah, same here, man. The 90s were some of the best times, dude. I'm an indecisive person, and I always say this on the episode. So like, if somebody were to ask me these questions, they probably would change every time because I could never fully get it. But one of the ones that always sticks out to me was the medieval times like era. That always like I love that kind of stuff. I second your 20s because I always usually say the 30s, which is right there next to each other. I love all that stuff. I'm a big like mafia and mob guy. My family's from New York. I love that kind of stuff. I would love to see that. I always make a joke like it'd be so weird just being able to like just see hits occur. If we're getting dark for a minute here. Like if we're just seeing hits occur and just people laying on the street, and it's just kind of like that's what happens. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just want to see that era. He's like, all right, well, that's just what happens. And then like I always would want to see like this one's 100% just observing. But I always want to see what the world and like just the atmosphere and everything was like when the dinosaurs existed. Just that, I want to know like what really happened and like how did it all like because I don't know if you heard this is totally sidebar in a situation, but they just found a tooth. Scientists or archaeologists or something found a human tooth that dates back to like millions of years that just changes everything that we thought about when we actually existed. And
really?
Nobody's talking about it. I don't know why. It's fascinating. But like that makes me wonder too. Like I want to know like did we exist more with like certain dinosaurs than what they know or what they tell us? Like that stuff just fascinates me. And to really see like a dinosaur the size of a skyscraper just walking around, like it would be insane.
It's like, yo, okay.
Yeah,
like
you know, it would just be crazy.
Just like, oh, you know.
Yeah, it would just be crazy.
Brontosaurus is back again. Like,
I know.
Okay.
It would just be crazy, man. So I'm like a little obsessed with time travel. I've been wanting to do like a full blown like time travel episode, but I feel like it's more of an episode to have like if you have a couple guests on, so you can have good banter going back and forth.
Yeah.
So maybe sometime in the future, man. But we are gonna get out of here, dude. So I want to give you the floor, man. Whatever it is, before we get out of here, whatever it is that you want to say, whatever it is you want to plug, maybe thank you to anybody, shout anybody out. I don't know, whatever it is that you want to say, the floor is yours. Say whatever you want to say, man.
I mean, honestly, just for me, just thank you to everybody who like shows love on my stuff and is always giving. I've been blessed enough. I've not really had many, if at all, any negative like messages or hate messages or whatever. Like everybody's been real cool. And you know, I try my best to read everything and respond to everything. So just everybody, thanks for showing love. I appreciate you for having me on this, giving me the opportunity to, you know, talk and just get the chance to like be myself. You know what I mean? Cause I feel like we see people in pictures and characters, but you know, to like get to know people for who they are is really cool. So, I appreciate it. Just everybody who's collabs and, you know, feel free to message me anytime. I'm always, whether it's advice or, yo, a collab idea or, hey, do this character, do this, but like, I love that stuff. So feel free to hit me up and stay tuned, I guess, for upcoming cosplays and definitely the Halloween night stuff and the Superman role. And I'm hyped. It's going to be fun. It got some cool stuff coming. So I'm really excited and just appreciate everybody.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming, dude. Thank you for being here. This has been awesome, dude. I can't wait to do a follow-up that we got the kind of like interview-ish style thing out the way. So maybe another time you can come on, we can just shoot the shit, talk about whatever, and have a good time. I know Imposter wanted to come on again. He's been on 4 times. We've been talking about it, and he wants to come on again.
Share the chair, dude. Come on.
That's what he said. He's like, I'm back off for a little while, a couple months. Give it a couple months. But it's always great conversations having him on. I was talking to him. Maybe we could do something when you guys, so I know you guys got some stuff that may be coming in the future. So maybe when you guys do that, maybe I can get you both on and we could just have a good time and have a good conversation about all, you know, whatever ends up happening, dude. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, man, thank you, Foggy, for coming, dude. Please go follow Jake Fogg, Foggy Knight. That's Knight with a K, 14 at the end on Instagram, Foggy Knight 14 on Instagram. Like I just said, make sure you follow and stay up to date with everything that he's doing, because everything that he's doing is absolutely awesome. And I mean that. I so mean that. It's phenomenal. And everybody involved and everybody that I mentioned here today, make sure you follow all of them, or rather this week. You never know exactly when you're watching this, because they're all equally phenomenal and it's just so amazing. And I'm so stoked to have you here and been able to get all this information, man. So thank you for coming. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Project Podcast. Or maybe you're watching on Spotify as well, because videos are available on Spotify. So thank you for watching on Spotify, following, rating, and all those things that you do, and listening wherever it is that you listen, Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can find me at IGHatesChazzy on Instagram, and everything else you need to find me on is on the screen right about now. And if you're looking for the podcast as a whole, you can find it at Side Project Podcast on Instagram. Stay connected with me. And I just realized, remember that's Project with a K, by the way. And I just realized that I never turned on the spawn lights, the eyes, and I never turned on the Punisher eyes as well. So like I said, tired today. That's what happens. But thank you guys, man. I appreciate everything. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Like I said, from the bottom of my heart, me and Jake are out of here.